What's up, guys? GSL Codes with Tastes and Artosis, Tastosis, the Casting Archon, bring you the best StarCraft 2 action you could ever ask for here in Seoul, Korea. We finished our first group today. It was actually a lot of really fun, interesting games.
It actually really was.
One of the funner groups I've ever casted.
If you missed it, definitely go watch it. Those games, I think every single one of those games was worth watching. And normally, we have 5 games in each group. And so normally I look at it, I'm like, 2 or 3 of these are worth. One of them's kind of in the middle. I'm like, I don't know. One is normally like, oh, this is pretty good. Another might be great. But this one, actually, I think all 5 games completely worthwhile to watch. So check those out. But this next group is the group to watch. It's the
one I was thinking about on the way to work today.
Yes, absolutely. I am so excited for this group. It's Group C. It's been moved because, well, Huck flies around a lot.
He does. You know what actually amazes me most about Huck is that he flies around all the time, but he's still winning tournaments. Do you realize how much time that is actually to spend on a plane?
Yeah, it's insane. Like, Tasteless and I travel so much, and there's, like, no time for anything. It's insane. Like, you can't practice from a hotel room.
I want a pet cat. I can't have a pet cat. They'll get mad. It'll piss on my pillow, okay? Cats do that if you don't hang out with them enough.
Yeah, it's actually true.
It'll tear up the seat on my exercise bike like it did to Artosis.
Yeah. It happened. It's
She'll never work out again. Meow. It just tears it apart.
I'm like, now I have to get a new seat. That was just mean.
You're being well, he's not being selfish. He's lonely. So, it's amazing to me that he can do that much.
Yeah.
With playing in a tournament and then being on a plane all the time. And, of course, just being occupying an event. That's not a lot of practice time. That's like almost minus like 2/5 of your practice time, considering how much he's traveling around.
Yeah. It's even more. I mean, I think it's even more.
Half?
The jet lagging and the random
That's
sleep.
true.
Like,
you might be awake when your teammates
are Playing time is almost
asleep.
always completely non-productive.
You're
hotel
exhausted.
time is almost always completely non-productive. It's rough, man. But he does it. So excited as we're about to introduce the players of this group. These are like some of my very favorite players. All 4 of these are amongst my favorite players in StarCraft 2. I'm so excited.
Life is good.
It's hard for me, man. I don't know who to root for. And the first match is going to be Huck versus Clide. And, I mean, what am I supposed to do during that match? What are you supposed to do during that match?
I don't know.
I think what I'm going to do is let you commentate. I'm just going to scream like a little girl.
This will be the first time we've casted an entire game while holding hands. It'll be
Normally we cast only the first 5 minutes or so holding hands.
Normally we only hold hands when the Ultralists hatch. I'm like, Artosis is exactly happening. So this is going to be fun. It's going to be a great group, great games. We were backstage with Killer, telling him how good and handsome he is, and he said
it's so hard to predict this group. I was asking him, I'm like, I don't know how to predict this. The only thing I feel pretty strongly, not jokingly, that Clide will come out.
Yeah, I mean, in all seriousness, I think Clide should get out.
Clide will come out. And Killer agreed with that, and he said maybe Senkatrizerg, but it's really hard to say.
I thought it'd be Clide and Huck.
You might be right, but they're playing first, so one of them's getting a loss right away, so that makes it harder. Look at that group.
Look at that bling behind that, man. We need to steal that. All right. Look at Clyde's shoes.
Clide and Huck.
He's wins in the shoe war right now. And there's Huck, who is, for whatever reason, never stressed out and or nervous before a tournament.
Yeah.
Whenever I see the guy, he's like joking around. And here are other 2 nerd warriors.
Zerg and Puzzle. Puzzle, an awesome Protoss. One of my favorites last season. He played like horse manure.
Well,
hopefully this season he can play better.
Here's the thing about Puzzle Artosis. I could just never figure him out.
Tasteless. You know what? That was really funny.
I thought that, and then I was like, should I save that for the actual match? I thought, no, I'm going to forget it, because I always forget jokes I try to save for later on.
Well, you know what? You need to say them quicker. That was the missing piece, Tasteless.
Oh, that was good.
All right. Just so impossibly hard to predict these games, man. Like, seriously. These guys are all just so close in
They're
skill.
so skilled.
But anyways, I want to go over the dynamics of the group. So this has such a big stretch of players. It's hardest for the Protoss players because they have every match to prepare for.
PvP, PvT, PvC.
Yeah. The other 2
train for all that.
Zerg and Terran players, they only have to prepare for
2 matchups.
Yeah. So that makes it very hard on them. Now, out of the 2 players, which player should it be harder on? Well, it's interesting because Huck's practice schedule, because he attends so many foreigner events, he's oftentimes practicing for events where he has to play against every race all the time, just ready for any matchup, any map. So I feel like that's going to help Huck. Puzzle, I think, is going to have the hardest time, in relation to his skill order, the hardest time preparing for this group. Now, he might go ahead and win the group, but I'm saying I think it's very hard for him to prepare because he has to do all 3 matchups, whereas Huck, that's what he always is preparing for, is all 3. He approaches the game differently because of how much he travels, whereas the other players in GSL that don't travel as much, they prepare more just for the matches coming up.
If I can interject, because I think I've got a good way to sum up Huck and what makes him different from some of these other players, is that you get somebody like, let's say, Clide. He grinds. He plays so much. He has so many different build orders. But somebody like Huck, I feel like his advantage is actually in his psychology.
He's got a great psychology.
He's got a good attitude. Yes. He loses early. He's like, I remember.
He just keeps
I can't actually say it on TV, but, I lost. When he lost a game, he came by and just said FML, that stands for. But he was, laughing. And it's fine. And then next time he comes back, he's laughing, joking around. It's fine.
He doesn't let
he's not a rager.
Yeah, and he's not just sitting on his laurels. He continues to practice hard in Korea.
Did you ever have a LAN? Did you do LAN parties when you were younger? Oh, no, you didn't, did you?
There were LAN parties for the nerdy people in my high school, and they would not let me go because I was so much better than them.
That is terrible.
Yeah, that's where I come from, guys. They actually told me, they're like, we're having a StarCraft tournament, someone told me. And I'm like, oh, so you guys are having a StarCraft tournament. That's great. And they're like, yeah, but we don't want you to come because you just win it.
Dude,
true story.
See, I had a good group of friends back when I was growing up in high school. We had LAN parties literally every weekend.
Yeah.
Pizza, nachos.
Glad you had a nice childhood.
I remember, but you ever, the reason why I was asking is, you ever those LANs where there's one rager? There's one guy who's actually freaking out. And he's gonna wake up your friend's mom. And he gets shot in the head in Counter-Strike. And he's like, bam, hits the table. And I'm like,
I kind of know this
downstairs.
When Idris still lived here, he was over my house all the time. So yeah, I kind of get that.
I don't think Idris doesn't rage though. He just GG. Oh no, he doesn't say GG.
I know, but it was like a joke.
Whatever. Okay, all right.
He'd get angry. He'd be like, anyways, yeah, no, I know who you're talking about.
I had a lot of friends who would rage in the house. Everybody who went to sleepovers and stuff when you're in high school and stuff. There's always that one guy's house where it's you cannot actually make noise.
Remember after that New Hampshire LAN?
I remember that.
And who was it? Was it Corbalt?
Corbalt was drunk in your house.
Being way
and your mom
too
didn't
loud.
know we had 20 people over at your house. We snuck 20 people into his house. And Corbalt was drunk, and I'm like, Corbalt, be quiet, man. He's like, I'm just having a good time, man. I'm like,
and he apologized, and then he'd be loud again.
And I'm like, Corbalt. He's
like, stop saying you're sorry.
Tell me what you do, man. I'm like, Corbalt, I like you, Corbalt. All right, but you need to be quiet because Dan doesn't know his true story. Dan's mom doesn't know there's 20 of us outside.
And then in the
house.
Morning, some kids that we didn't even know went outside and puked outside our window.
I remember that, man. Is that the time that we missed my flight?
Your flight was for 1 year later because G5 booked it.
That's right. It was for 1 year later. Like, sir, your flight is a year from now. And I'm like,
I can't stay here for a year.
I'm like, I can't be in New Hampshire for a year.
Nick, you're a very good friend, but you can't sleep in my house for a year. I'm so sorry.
I remember that. Good times.
Yeah,
so,
many years ago.
Yeah. We are still waiting for our Crane commentators to go ahead and introduce the players. I don't know what they're talking about right now, but when we get there, we will talk about those players. LAN parties are good, though.
Yeah,
the funny thing about Korea,
amazing, man.
If you come to Korea, you don't even have to have a LAN party. You just go to a PC cafe. Although I still think LAN parties are better.
If you have the right size house and you don't invite any stinkies over.
And your parents have good food. They need to have
Pizza
good
rolls.
food. Pizza rolls, nachos with that cheese dip. I don't even think it's cheese. It's like some kind of chemical. It's like made from the same. The flavor is made from the same places that make perfumes.
Oh,
Did you know that's actually most fast food? The flavors they put in fast food are made by the same places. Get ready, brace yourself. By the people that make colognes and perfumes. It's the same. They actually engineer the chemicals.
So that's why I always want to chew on your neck.
I know. That's why, man. It's not because you're a vampire.
No.
It's not because you've been building up the courage for years to finally come out to me, but it's actually because of that. That's why people are like, oh, I'm going to get a sandwich that has cheese and meat, and it's like, oh, these are all chemicals, man.
very
so
interesting.
I want to get these games going. I'm really excited. Huck's in the game, and I guess there's some delay over here for some reason. At least it's not the one where it's just like, what was it, BlizzCon? Remember BlizzCon? I'm like, get ready, make some noise, and everybody's like, yeah. And then like, oh, we got a 10-minute delay. Sorry.
Yeah,
that was funny.
Well, Clide has not actually joined the game yet, so Clide, he's probably trying to fend off the fans, trying to get his signature.
Yeah.
But everyone's like, no, actually, we see him in the booth. He's right there.
Is he right in there?
No, actually, we barely can't see him, I think. But no, Clide probably just getting whatever, making sure his drivers are all set up or whatever. It's tasteless.
Talk to me.
You think it's going to be Clide Huck?
Yeah.
I
do.
It's so impossible because I look at it and I'm like, for so many reasons I look at it, I'm like, maybe Puzzle can make it out. And then I think Puzzle can be really great. As I said, last season he played really poorly. But he can be really great. But Jelizerg seems like his style against Puzzle style. I'm like, I think Jelizerg's just going to kill him.
Well, yeah, I feel like Jelizerg will just do some
He'll
really
make
crazy
banelings
build.
and Puzzle dies. I'm like, I don't know, man.
By the way, guys, feel free to add GOMTV on Twitter. It is simply GOMTV. Tweet at GOMTV. Tell them you love the GSL. Hashtag the GSL. Add us on Twitter. I'm Call Me Tasteless. He is Artosis. By the way, we have the Sons of Starcraft director here in the studio, right over there, Jeff Lejos. Filming us right now. There's a second camera over here. I have two cameras at me. I don't know which one to look at sometimes, but doing good so far. So good. And this has been a real treat. The Philippines was a lot of fun. I guess we'll show our shirts on camera when we both bring them down.
Yep.
Very
I got a
people.
cool new shirt.
That is actually
jealous?
Mona Lisa with a bazooka.
Yeah, it's pretty sick, actually.
I'm sick.
But actually, I didn't try it on. It's actually like it's so big on me. It just drapes.
See, I have like a large chest.
You have a barrel chest.
I have like a barrel chest. So what happens is I get these shirts. I think they fit me, but then I'm actually just like fat guy in a little shirt.
If a dark knight ever rides through and chops your head off, I will step on grapes in your chest to make wine.
Thank you. It would be good.
Because you have a barrel chest.
I do. So, what are we waiting for? Clyde is not in the game. We might need to be updated by our producer. We'll see soon. Clyde says he just, thank our PD updated us. Clyde just needs a few more minutes. Obviously, we want to give him those few more minutes. So, Artosis, let's talk.
Okay.
Let's bond. Let's learn about each other.
All right.
You know that game, that little paper thing that kids would make in elementary school? I think go like...
It's like, now pick a color. I'm like, red. I'm like, mauve. And they're like, red, blue, yellow, or green. I'm like, all right, red. And they're like, go like this. And they're like, now a number. And then they go like this. And they're like, they open something up. They're like, you will marry. And they're like, this girl. And it's like, what?
You're like, I don't want to marry that girl. I wanted to marry you, girl, who brought me the thing. I thought you liked me. Yeah. You're like, go again. And they're like, okay. Yeah. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. These things can't actually control fate then. That's when I used my big brain and figured out, no, those things don't actually matter. It's so much better than the Magic 8 Ball.
You know what I would use one of those for nowadays? One of those things?
Yeah.
I'd hold it like this and pick up dog poop off the floor. That's what I would use that for. It would be my little paper glove.
Pick a color, brown. It's like, okay. I guess we're ready. Here he is, Clyde. A talented player. We always thought he was going to win a GSL. Maybe this will be the GSL he wins.
Perhaps.
See,
his first Protoss has been his least successful.
Yeah.
And, he's got 2 Protoss in his group. So will that end up being an issue? I'm not really sure.
I'm not sure, actually.
Notice that patch on his shoulder, the handsomenerd.com. We now have TSL jerseys. I'm sure the site will go up and down periodically. As
so our server's not. Look, we're casting and traveling all day, but we'll get it fixed. But anyways, if you want to support them, check out our site, buy some TSL stuff. They get money. Clyde might get a hamburger later because you bought a TSL t-shirt. In fact, you might get a triple-decker hamburger because you give him a lot of money. You can afford 2 more extra slabs of beef.
There you go, man. Well,
who's this guy? Look at Huck with his hair up like he's a cockatiel.
Oh, my God. Sickest cockatiel Protoss in the world.
Protoss.
Ranking 21st, pretty good. Huck has been kicking ass, of course, recently. Just won that MLG. Flying around the world, doing good. Mr. Molka from Congo.
You remember the movie Congo?
Dude, I almost remember every word of it. I've seen it 50 times.
I've seen that movie so many times. That was like such a good movie when you were a kid.
Actually 50 times.
And then as you grow up, you realize that actually that movie, like, I need to go back in time and stop that movie from ever happening. It's not go back and kill Hitler. It's go back and stop Congo.
I've seen it so many times I could have been fluent in the language if I just studied it during those hours.
All right, Huck getting ready, getting to the zone. Terran versus Protoss. We have two heavy hitters right now. I feel like Huck will win because Huck he never fails to impress me.
Yeah.
I remember I was out having dinner with Wolf about a week or two ago, and we were like, who is the best Protoss? You know, who was actually the number one Protoss? We were looking at the results, and was like, is it Huck? It might be.
You know, his results tend to back it up. But, you know, I feel it's always something that is changing and moving. And as far as the results go, I would say is very reasonable calling that.
All right. It's time, guys. Pride of the foreign players. Will Huck get past the round of... I should just read this. Trying to go past round of 8 for the first time. TSL Clyde. All right, I got it out. Didn't think I was going to make it through that one or two.
Good work, man.
Oh. Clyde against Huck. The game is loading. Who will win? We'll find out soon. So get ready for some awesome PvT action here at the GSL Code S. Thank you to our sponsors. Now on to this game. Over here in the upper right, we have
GSL Clide.
Clyde.
You can almost see him through the window in the command center.
I can see him. He's not in the booth. He's actually on the top floor of the command center right now, controlling everything with a mouse and keyboard.
Hopefully that command center doesn't get killed.
Yeah, that would be bad. In the bottom left, from the Team Evil Geniuses, the incredible Huck. Look at Huck. He is the angriest cockatiel.
Cockatiels can be pretty angry, though, can't they?
They can be. Forever Bronze, occupy Starcraft. Occupy the GOM studio. Now, that's funny. I thought Clyde would have had a higher percentage here. I feel, and maybe I'm wrong, guys, but I feel like a lot of people would vote for Huck on GOMTV.net just because he's a foreigner.
Well, his results actually are better than Clyde's.
That's true. That's very true.
Especially recently. Well, Clyde got really deep in GSL last season, and actually GSL is very difficult tournament. It actually is the hardest overall. So, I mean, you can argue for either player. I feel more assured that Clyde will get out than Huck by a little bit of this group, but I have no idea who's going to win this match.
Yeah, I have no clue.
Well, we will see. Both players, of course, going for expansion first. As I was saying before, that is going to be such the norm here that we'll see people blindly countering it in the future.
Yeah, I mean, 2 racks in the middle of the map.
Or 2 gate, whatever you do.
2 gate. Then we're going to have that one game where one guy 2 gates in the middle of the map, the other guy 2 racks, and then the 2 gate just wins because Zealots are stronger than Marines.
Well, that was StarCraft 1. In StarCraft 2, you intercept those babies all day long, man.
They just do not die. I'd still think a 2 gate would beat a 2 racks in the middle of the map.
I think if you messed up for 1 second with the Zealots,
you just send one Zealot to the SCVs and have the other one go to the barracks and you'd win.
And then they say, they've split up, and the Marines kill you. Oh, anyways, we will see it probably next season sometime if this map stays in. That's about how long it'll take for the metagame to shift into that.
All right, Huck, he will see that he cannot get inside there.
Which is fine. I mean, he's going to have to assume that there's not like a 1-1-1 coming because there's no way that's going to work.
Oh, God, I just burnt my mouth.
I saw that.
I just burnt my mouth so bad. I will never taste delicious food again. I forgot how hot the hot water I got brought to me was.
Yeah, hot water's normally pretty hot.
It's not cold, that's for sure. It cannot be hot and cold at the same time. Only icy hot can do that, Artosis.
That's true, man. Icy hot is magical. Huck, by the way, going up to 2 gas. Just a little bit, running around in the middle of the map. trying to jockey for scouting position. Things like that middle watchtower.
And he has confirmation. He probably could have already told by the scouting that he did there that looks like he's probably got an expansion, but now he can just confirm it.
Clyde's SCV going to go down. It's life for Clide. It was worthwhile.
All right. SCV's continuing to mine. Note, standard with Huck, he gets all of his gases right away. Ooh, and you want to know why, Artosis?
Why?
Because he's going DTs.
Ooh, it does look like that. Tastes great choice here by Huck. Do love DT on this map. And that definitely is going to be a core DT unless it's a crazy quick Storm Rush, which used to be good when Kader and Amulet was out. I haven't seen it since, though.
And since then, we have never seen very much of Son again. I like it. Because here's what he can do. He can just take the third base while going DTs.
Yep.
Terran's not going to have enough money to even get a quick command center right away because he's going to be burning so many scans.
Very true. Clyde just playing...
Oh, my God. I'm sorry, Artosis. Hold on. He's going blink.
Oh, my God.
I didn't... Okay, let's see what happens.
He's adding a lot of gates, man. But no, he has enough gas. Oh, he is going blink. You're right.
Well, I don't know why he'd get 4 gases if he's going blink.
Yeah, I don't
know. Well, I mean, you know, Huck has his own way of playing the game, so we're just going to have to wait and see.
Yeah, he has some funny things that he likes to do, some of which are really cool and great, and some of which actually are a little bit inefficient. We have seen, you know, that is one of Huck's weaker points is economy management. You know, each player has their strengths and weaknesses. Huck definitely super strong in things like micro. He chooses strategies pretty well. And
yeah, he's like an MVP for Protoss.
He's a pretty aggressive player, things like this. But economy management, we've seen him time and again stockpile a resource at times where it could be much more efficient to do other things. So anyways, we have a lot of Stalkers coming in Tasteless, a Forge on the way. This is going to be really interesting. You know, I kind of like this because this map is so long, he can abuse Blink Stalkers for a very long time.
That's true. He could blink away endlessly.
Oh! He's got to be careful there. Shows his blink already, and Clide turns around immediately.
Tipping his hand a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, see, this is... Oh, God, that's...
This is...
I would think he would want to go down there right now and kill that, but I guess not.
Clide playing pretty safe. Stim is almost done. Not quite, though. And Huck, this is so aggressive, Huck.
Does this actually work?
We'll see, man. I mean, Huck's blink is really nice. He's taking down that supply depot. Now we do have a supply cap Clyde.
What?
Stim about to finish.
He's just like not going to lose any stalkers.
Not yet. But Clyde does have... There we go. Stim just finished. Just the second.
Like some of these guys don't even have enough room to stim now. I guess this might actually work.
We will see, man.
We're learning here.
He's got a ton of gas stockpiled right now. Could definitely tech up during this as well. And I mean, he's kicking some ass with this targeting.
Stim.
Is it enough though? SCVs are coming out. He seems nervous.
It's just about 4 Marauders left.
Wow,
dude.
Sick.
What is this strat, man?
It's just bash your
looks like watch this
over the head with blink. That's what it's called. He's adding more gates at home, man. He just wants more stalkers. His +1 is almost done, in fact.
All right, now he needs to back away from that bunker. I don't know why he's still attacking that bunker.
Yeah, that's getting repaired pretty well. And we're going to have Medivacs out. So Medivacs with Marauders with Stim against these +1.
You think he could just blink into the main and just run by?
I don't think he should.
Well, I guess not with the second bunker.
Yeah. Going in the main can be pretty dangerous. Who's going to continue to keep Stalkers alive as long as possible. Oh, and he does do a little blink up, but that was not a good idea. Those Stalkers taking a ton of damage. And Clide completely saved. In fact,
I don't know if
that gave Clide the lead right there as far as supply goes.
For sure.
That was a little bit wasteful. And a ton of Zealots now going up. I like this. Those are going to take a while to die. And he might even get that barracks.
I don't know about the blink there.
But actually, Clide repairing that barracks so well. And actually no damage done by Huck that time. And his supply falls even further. Ooh. They're going to have a sentry, though. Medivacs are out. Already out of energy, healing all those units that Huck has damage. Excuse me. Clide going for a double engineering bay now. Huck, on the other hand, getting Storm. I like it, man. +2 attack and Storm. That is a great follow-up. Blink Stalkers and Storm go together like peas in a bowl with a spoon.
With milk? I'm like, no, that doesn't go together. Well, I feel like I just really wish I could have watched Clide do this. I mean, Huck do this build more, you know? I want to see what it looks like in his practice games.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it seems really strong.
Well,
I mean, I was surprised when he started just blinking those Stalkers back, and I'm like,
he did
well,
a
I
ton
guess
of
this
damage.
works.
He did a ton of damage. You know, he got them up so quickly. Still hasn't spent his gas reserve quite yet. Should be warping in some more.
I'm actually amazed at some of these pro gamers that'll just have a bunch of stockpiled gas when they could have had more minerals.
Yeah, well, you know, I think that's something that will change over time, but right now it feels good to them because, you know,
well, you don't have to juggle the economics
suddenly,
of it.
Yeah, you can suddenly switch over and spend all that gas, and you're like, well, look at that, thank God. But as builds become unbelievably tight, as we get more and more StarCraft 1 pros out that really know the ins and outs of tight build orders, I think it'll definitely change. There's just no way it won't. All right, here we go. Psystorm is ready. Huge storm on the left and then on the right. Very nicely done. Clide, do you have enough here? Yes, in fact you do.
Uh-oh.
Now the medevacs are all pretty low. A lot of them with no energy. Clide killing this off.
That Archon would just not die.
Clyde's supply right now 145 to 88. Really doing a great job. He is getting a Ghost Academy now as he's stormed just so quickly from Huck.
All right, so we have about 8 gateways here in the Protoss' base.
Yeah, both players with 3 base. In fact, Huck actually has 9 gateways. Tasteless, you dummy.
You dummy dum-dum.
Huck is going pretty hardcore on his upgrades.
Oh, 2 command centers here. I like it.
Very cool by Clide, knowing that he needs to get a lot of bases on this map. That's one thing we saw Jakshi do a little bit wrong. You know, he didn't expand everywhere. Killer was doing a good job harassing him.
He didn't really respect the size of the map.
Yeah. This is going to make long games, man. You have to take half the map. You have to do it.
Yeah.
Well, Huck catching up in supply a little bit. He's still down, though, by about 50. It is a little bit of a war of upgrades. Huck is in the lead on upgrades, but not for long. It's going to even up pretty quick.
Huck's doing a great job of taking out SCVs on the map.
Yeah.
Clyde has sent out actually a considerable number of SCVs to scout and got nothing from it.
Quite true. 80 SCVs against 62 probes right now. That is insane SCV production by Clide. That is actually really good, and that's the fact he's making 2 command centers with 80 SCVs tells us that his economy is never going to end.
All right, so we have 3 Templars lined up here. Nice spread. The armor upgrade halfway done. Attack will complete moments from now. But the armor upgrade a little bit more important in this situation. Oh, run!
Ooh,
Blink, whatever. Run, blink.
There. Scan, looking for an observer. No, it's not there. He's just that quick. Sorry. We have
all right, here we go.
Colossus on the way for
he might go in here for a kill. Huck is pretty well spread out.
Well, Huck's 2 Colossus are about to pop
out. Oh, this
out.
is so sick. He actually has...
Oh, my God. Beautiful move there by Clide.
He actually had the Templar spread out so he could get Psystorms off, then blink away, then run in with the Zealots. Nice.
Well.
Not bad.
Yeah. You know, I love Huck's tech switch here. Right into Colossi. Double Robo. And, ooh! Some really good Psystorms here, but he's going to run into a lot of units. Clide is maxed out, but Huck has a very good amount of units. Great upgrades as well with that +3 attack, and he has to get out of there, Tasteless.
You know what saved Huck is that beautiful positioning there.
Yes.
He actually had like some of the best positioning I've ever seen as far as a Terran about to engage him.
And Huck does turn off to the side there smartly, as his Zealots would have gotten too far ahead and kited.
No, they're both expanding up at the upper left. I don't think either player knows about it, but go check from Yartosis.
Yep, neither of them know. Both hidden expands. I think Clide will probably send SCVs up there, though. He has so many.
Yeah. So we have another command center moving out here. It looks like Clide wants to expand to obscure parts on the map rather than more natural ones.
He wants to, make his opponent send a lot of units down there. He's making planetaries that are so far away that Protoss literally can't deal with them. The best Protoss could do is a little harassment. Oh, wow. This is a very weird High Templar flank. And he will lose a couple of them. 2. One Psystorm doing good damage, though.
He actually might go in here for a kill.
3-2 upgrades against 2-2 upgrades and 3-3 on the way.
Now, there's not many. Oh, my God. Some of the best storms I've seen.
And, yeah, those storms very good. But it looks like he's actually out of storms right now. So Clide is able to push him back a little bit, as he does have an okay Viking number, especially considering, Huck, where's your anti-air here?
Well, this is a long trip that all these Colossi will die on if he's not careful.
Yeah, Colossi.
Oh, man,
indeed.
this actually might have cost Huck the game.
Not going to make the long trip home. See you next fall.
He says, no one leaves here a Clide.
And Huck with a little counterattack with these Zealots, doing the damage he can. Look at Clide picking up those Vikings very smartly. Doesn't want to lose them, just lets them deal some additional damage, then picks them up. Beautifully done. His supply is still in the lead, 150 to 120.
Probe's being transferred, but Clide is just looking too good. I'm just talking about how handsome he is. I mean, he's actually looking good in this game. I know you guys probably thought the other thing.
Yeah, but it's both.
It's both.
Huck, though, I love his Colossus production. He's just non-stop on it. Of course, he's got to watch out because Clide is getting a lot of Vikings.
This makes it somewhat more forgivable to lose Colossi.
Yeah.
Because you suddenly have so many
When you
out.
get like a really big economy, you can actually make them.
Oh, how funny is this?
The SCV Centipede versus
Oh
the
my God.
Millipede.
The Protoss Centipede. All right. Well, now they both know their secrets are out.
Well, +3 armor for Clide, about to finish. Huck, on the other hand, getting caught out in the middle.
Goodbye, Colossus. Goodbye. See you next time. No, you're dead, man. You don't even know your own mortality.
Aren't Colossi robots?
But maybe they can think. Maybe they're programmed to feel pain. I don't know.
Maybe.
Nice storms again. This game similar to Killer's game, actually. But I think Clide handled himself a little bit better than Jakji.
Well, this is a ton of Colossus. Clide does have a lot of Viking zone. They do have +1 attack. And Clide will clean up the Colossus, I think, just barely
Yeah, he
here.
will.
Just barely. Yeah, there you go. Only a handful of Vikings left, but does have to run home. A lot of, Huck has just been macroing his tushy off bases. A lot of Zealots left over there. That Mortal is actually kicking serious ass in there as well. 10 kills already.
Oh, he needs to get those medevacs. Very nice.
Oh,
you can't make medevacs and Vikings at the same time.
You know, Clide was playing just a stellar game, and then this happened, and Huck has taken a strong lead right now, I would say. Even though, yes, Clide is still, supply-wise, high up there. He lost so many important units right there.
I'm surprised he didn't send some stalkers behind that planetary. You know, that's all you have to do. If these two planetary, just move a stalker behind the mineral patch. The planetary can't hit you.
Well, this is actually a very important moment, Tasteless. There are medevacs going over there to drop, but there are 2 High Templars on the high ground. So if he tries to drop up there, he might get caught.
Feedback.
Oh, very good.
Oh, my God, that was close.
Very smart to repair.
Oh, my Clide.
And it looks like Huck wants to deal with this. He's got to be careful. Now what he's going to do is go in there, attack it, then Psystorm the SCVs that are repairing. That's his plan. And we will see
look out, Colossus.
Clide has to start repairing.
Why is Clide not repairing that?
He just doesn't repair. I guess that works too.
He's like, I guess I'll just lose this.
And Huck deals with that beautifully.
All right. Huck is starting to take a lead here. It's going to be much easier in a map like this for Protoss to keep expanding. Excuse me.
He actually still hasn't seen... Oh, wait. He saw the probe, so he didn't see the next. Never mind. Yeah, Huck has a good spread of High Templars all over the place. He's got such a nice economy going that he's allowed to continually make and lose Colossus, get upgrades, and make and lose High Templar. But he's got to be careful, man. He only has 2 bases really mining right now. And actually, his probe saturation is natural is rather poor, and no gas at his 3rd.
You know, Clide has a good army, but I don't think he has as much of a plan. I think it's to some of his plan, to be totally blunt, it seems like he's just going to hide stuff and cross his fingers.
Well, you know, I like that, once again, I have to say.
You like it?
I do. I'm a fan of this because you saw how much Huck had to bring up there to actually kill that. Now, what if he had tried to do that when Clide was somewhere that he could actually counterattack a location like the natural. Then suddenly Huck's in trouble. It didn't work out that time like that, but that's the thought behind it.
All right, 91 to 90, or 191 to 196, excuse me, supply. So they're basically maxed out, guys.
Yeah.
Now, throughout this series, I feel like we've seen Huck control his army a little bit better.
Yeah, he's done a good job of it.
Nice.
Good size storm. Clyde, though, sniping it off. Clyde's got to be careful here. So many
All right, he's sneaking in there.
So many High Templar.
The Templars look like mannequins when they move, but they're on strings. All right, hold on. Storm,
Ooh, nice
bad
dodge.
storm, though. Yeah, sick dodge. Oh, nice.
Sick storm right there.
And another one.
Killing off a lot of Marines.
Clyde unable to use Sniper EMP effectively so far.
That is quite true, and trying to save it, I guess. Definitely wants to get EMPs off on the Zealots and Colossus. I think he might be afraid of the brute power of the army rather than the size storms.
Yeah.
Because he has to kill the brute of the army, which is something he's just failed to do over and over and over.
Yeah, the meat there. Oh my God, nice storm.
Yeah, that was such a good storm.
Beautiful.
Non-stop on these storms. Everything's so damaged for Clyde right now. Such a close game, though, still. Huck has taken another Nexus, by the way. Clyde is just now finished up another command center. As far as worker count, 57 SCVs against 65 probes. Pretty reasonable for both.
Nice. Bad angle here for Clyde.
Yeah,
Such a bad angle here for Clyde.
His army is going to completely melt, but the Colossi are going to melt as well.
Well, I don't think he has enough Stalkers to actually kill off all these Vikings before the Vikings finish the job.
Well, they do have that +3 attack, actually. With that blink, it looks like he might. Very few left for both sides, but more rallies coming out for Clyde. He's going to deal with these Colossi.
Oh my God, and suddenly everything that's Protoss dies.
But Huck has pylons everywhere. He is warping in units all over the place. 139 supply for Huck, 111 for Clyde, and it's hard to see Clyde actually coming back from here. It's very mineral heavy, this style he's playing, but he's not mining a whole lot. He's got his natural and the hidden expansion at the bottom, but he needs to get more SCVs somewhere else.
If that hidden expansion had been spotted, this game would have been over. I think Huck actually thinks Clyde is dead.
Yeah, I think you're right. He does think he's dead right now. And, I think he's dead, too, actually. It looks like Huck has finally taken a substantial lead.
He's getting shields.
Getting level 3 shields. This is before the patch, guys. That's pretty expensive still.
Yeah.
Huck playing a very nice game here. It's that High Templar Colossus production, man. I mean, those are the two units you need together. And Huck's always kept enough Stalkers that he can push forward and kill off chase down anything, kill off Vikings, keep his High Templars safe. But hold on, we do have Clyde moving around the map very, very well right now. Huck may just go for a counterattack here.
But here's the thing is that if Huck goes into the main and takes out the production facilities, what the hell is Clyde going to do then? He's not going to just sit around on a bunch of planetaries. Clyde knows that. He runs into the main, but I don't know if it's too late.
This is pretty cost inefficient with these Zealots here. Does not want to be in these little tiny channels trying to fight. In the meantime, Clyde only using part of his army to kill off the rest of Huck's bases. Huck is basically not mining now, but Clyde's production facilities, man, this is the one way to really kill a Terran. You get on top of those production facilities, and they just don't have much else they can do from there.
Yes, everything dies. Oh, no.
Oh, no, indeed. Huge catch right there.
Note, Huck does not have a mining base now.
Huck, though, does have the superior army.
Yeah.
And that's a big, big deal.
Oh, nice. He's even got Templars at the bottom part of the screen parked behind the planetary so he can keep storming there.
That is so many Colossi. Oh, my God. Clyde has to deal with those Colossi somehow, some way. He's got like 4 Vikings queued up in that starport that's about to die. Goodbye, starport. Well, Clyde with his tiny army, man, I don't know if he can actually do it.
Well, it's also getting up that ramp. He has to remake all those production facilities. I mean, if Huck wants to, and he is actually, he can just long-distance mine.
Yeah.
You can see he's starting to remake.
Okay, very smart the way he's going about this.
Just starports.
Yeah, he realizes that really what he needs to do right now is kill the Colossus. Everything else can be dealt with micro. The Colossus, not really. They're actually just going to kill everything in their path.
But he's supply blocked, so he can't make Vikings.
Well, he does have SCVs, so and actually Clide has a good bank. He has a nice bank.
Yep,
absolutely. He can make some supply depots. In fact, he just started up 5. You know, Huck knows about one of Clyde's bases right now, but not the other one, which is where he's actually building all his units. So let's take a look at the units. We have 23 SCVs against 56 probes. Then we have 3 medevacs, 6 Vikings, 12 Marauders, 7 Marines. For Huck, we have 21 Zealots, 8 Colossus, 5 Stalkers, and 6 High Templar. I mean, Huck is very far ahead.
This is so smart. This is the only place he wouldn't check for an expansion.
Yeah,
is it where the rocks are?
It's pretty far away.
Oh, but he's actually going to destroy the rocks, so nothing here makes any sense.
Huh. Well, you know, he's just got to start a Nexus somewhere.
Yeah.
It's just got to. I mean, the money he'll save having that Nexus in right now that he already started, he'll save at least that much in long-distance mining time. So,
all right, he's actually going to make the Nexus now. I'll probably cancel the other one.
I think he'll keep both. It's my guess. All right, so right now, Clide is producing as madly as he can, as quickly as he can.
There's a death ball headed
he's
towards
going
him.
to just let that bottom left expansion die. He's just going to
he doesn't need it anymore. Uh-oh.
That's all right. He
Don't
thought
show
that
him.
might have been scouting for Huck's base. I think that's what Huck thinks about that Marine. So
yeah,
he's just going to go down, pound that expand from Clide, and expect Clide to GG. But in the meantime, this has bought Clide a lot of time
86
to
supply.
make units. In fact, yeah, he's going up. He's making 3 Vikings at a time. He's not wasting any time on reactors or anything, just using 3 starports, getting as much out as he can. And in fact, when he starts attacking the planetary down there, that's a great time for Clide to either move out on the map somewhere else or try to start sniping things with these Vikings.
Oh, see, he thinks that there's this angle of Marines and Marauders there. He's going to have to barrel up the ramp, but no, there's nothing. I think he's probably pretty confused by this.
Yeah, he's like, where are your units? Aren't you defending your last base? It's not his last base up. And actually, going to go ahead and just attack in, repairing as he can. That planetary not really going to get many kills. In fact, none.
That's actually just a time saver.
Yep. 333 upgrades for Huck. You don't see that every day. Clide just run around the map with 4 Marauders and a medevac trying to find a next
Will
side.
this be the day that Clide cried? Very well could be.
All right, here we go, Tasteless. This is just going to be it right here. Those side storms are actually just going to be too deadly, man. He has no EMPs. Just everything's going to be so clumped up. But he's making a bunch of Ravens right now because he has a lot of gas.
All right, here we go.
And
tearing in there. Be careful of those Zealots, Huck.
Battling behind that is a very good idea, behind that planetary. And,
nice.
Oh, huge.
All right,
side
guys,
storms.
the final battle, but Storms raining down on the Vikings, and that will be GG.
That's it, man. We will be seeing GG in just a second. No doubt about that. Trying to kill off some more units. Not going to be enough. GG. Huck taking game 1 against Clide here. Super close. That was a great game.
That was an excellent
Both players played just superbly. A lot of fun that game. This map, I'm a fan.
Yep,
we have
it's a great
insane
map.
macro games here. It's like the only option at the moment. Until we start seeing people randomly counter.
And that'll be happening pretty soon. I would actually say in a week or two, people catch on to that strategy.
Absolutely. Like in the next round, everyone's already seen each other play on that. They're going to be like, maybe I should just make 2 barracks in the middle. You still get it.
I shouldn't practice. I should just cheese all in. Well, our next map is going to be Dual Site. July's are up against Puzzle. And I think this is going to be pretty cool.
Oh, this is going to be a lot of fun, man.
Yeah.
July Zerg, you know, his ZVP was not impressing me at the last MLG, I have to say. Remember that? It was off.
Yeah, I remember saying this is not the July that we know.
Yeah.
Or that I know.
It was more like an August Zerg, or maybe even a September Zerg. Definitely not a July Zerg.
Not a February Zerg, though. Yeah. He had a normal amount of days.
Going to be a lot of fun, though. I love watching July play, because every now and then he shows utter brilliance in the way he plays, which is awesome, because he's unbelievably talented, even if sometimes he looks terrible. That's because of how good he is. Because I'm serious.
No, I know. It's just the way that came out.
Yeah. Sometimes he looks terrible, but it's like, no, dude, he's actually so scary. No one can predict what he's going to do, because sometimes he'll do things that just will not work that game. Just like, Sorry, July. Auto loss. And he's like, that's fine. Because it's a percentage game, man. He wants to win.
He's an odds player. He's the guy that on the ladder might be ranked number 1. Like there's a guy below him that has like 80 wins and 10 losses, but Julyzer has like 150 wins, like 140 losses. But Julyzer will beat that guy with 80 wins and 10 losses because he engineers his strats based off really good players, so he could trick them.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not mechanically the best. Micro-wise, he's not the best. He's not the best at anything except for randomizing his play. That's what he is the best at.
Yeah.
He's also probably the best at smelling injury. He knows if you're injured enough to kill you.
Well, no, if there's blood in the water. Let's take a look at these two players. He's a shark nerd.
He's a shark with dolphin sonar.
Oh, my God. That's scary.
It's pretty fearsome.
Imagine if the sharks and the dolphins allied up. Took back the ocean. Somali pirates think they're badass? No. No.
I wonder. But what about killer whales? They'd never ally up. So it'd be killer whales versus sharks and dolphins. I think the numbers of sharks and dolphins, they just win.
But then the real twist at the end is when the giant squids come up from the bottom of the ocean.
They would fight with great tenacity, man.
Oh, they would.
Because all the sperm whales are obviously dead. So
of course,
no. Something else.
Well, sperm whales, let's face it, those guys are pussies, man. They're not going to take over the ocean.
I don't know, dude. They look all square and stuff. They're really scary looking, man.
They look like they should have a tuxedo on. They do.
That's exactly what they look like.
Here's Puzzle.
Puzzle. This guy showed unbelievable potential back when he was in Xenix. We saw him being put out in Team League. He was one of the players talked about at the same time, in the same breath as Bomber, before any of you really knew who Bomber was.
Yeah.
When we're all like, dude, this guy Bomber, really great. We were also mentioning Puzzle. Now, Puzzle hasn't done as well as Bomber, but he's really, really good. If you watch him last season, you're like, no, not really. But he is. Take my word on it. I cannot wait to see, because I feel like, he just played really badly in a couple games last season. That's all we get to see.
You know what this is? It's a Protoss versus Zerg.
I know.
We don't have these in GSL.
No, not too often.
When I see a Protoss versus Zerg in the GSL, I make a wish.
It only comes once every 70 years, like Haley's Comet.
That's right. Nice. That was a good one. That was like just dropping smart person stuff right there. All right, 60% win rate versus Zerg. Slayer's Puzzle. Will he be able to defend against July Zerg's aggression? I think we need a question mark there, but yes, that is the question.
The question about the aggression.
Ooh. All right, let's get into hip-hop right now.
Do it.
Get in your nerd face, get in your face. Face. I don't know. I have nothing. July Zerg up against Puzzle. Head-to-head PvZ here at the GSL Code S.